Sizwe heard about Tandy's audition and made one final attempt to win her over. He took her out to dinner, trying to charm her with promises of a life where she wouldn't have to struggle. "You don't need to dance for a living," he said, his eyes soft. "With me, you could have everything." Tandy looked at him, the boy who represented a life of ease and luxury. But for the first time, she saw clearly. She didn't want everything, she wanted to dance. "Sizwe," she said gently, "I need to do this for me. I've realized that my true happiness comes from following my passion, not from wealth or comfort." Sizwe's face hardened with disappointment, but Tandy felt a weight lift off her shoulders. She had made her choice. With Sizwe behind her, Tandy focused entirely on preparing for her audition. The pressure was immense, and she knew that this could be her one shot at launching a professional dance career. Every day, she practiced until her muscles ached, perfecting every step, every turn. Madame Labo noticed her dedication and took her under her wing, offering private lessons and pushing her beyond her limits. "You have the talent, Tandy," she said one evening after an intense session. "Now you just need to believe in yourself." Tandy's confidence grew with each passing day, but the fear of failure still lingered in the back of her mind. What if she wasn't good enough? As Tandy's audition day approached, she received a letter from her father. He hadn't said much when she left for Johannesburg, but his words now carried a deep sense of pride. "No matter what happens, remember where you come from. Soweto is in your blood, and it will always be your home. Keep dancing, and never forget why you started." The letter brought tears to Tandy's eyes. She realized that no matter the outcome of the audition, she had already achieved something far greater than fame or fortune. She had found her purpose. The day of the audition arrived, and Tandy felt a mix of excitement and terror. The audition hall was intimidating, filled with dancers from around the world, each vying for the same opportunity. As she stood on stage, waiting for the music to start, she closed her eyes and remembered her father's words. When the music began, Tandy danced with everything she had. Her movements were fluid and precise, but more importantly, they were filled with emotion. She wasn't just performing, she was telling a story, her story. By the time the music stopped, she was breathless, her heart pounding in her chest. After the audition, Tandy had to wait for the results. The days stretched on, each one filled with anxiety and doubt. She replayed the audition in her mind, wondering if she had done enough, if the judges had seen the fire in her that Madame Labo always spoke of. Sizwe reached out again, but this time, it wasn't to persuade her to choose his word. He simply wished her luck, acknowledging her choice with a sense of acceptance. Tandy appreciated the gesture but stayed focused on what was ahead. The call came late one afternoon. When she answered, her heart nearly stopped. The voice on the other end was formal, yet kind. "Congratulations, Tandy Kumolo. You've been selected to join our company as an apprentice." Tandy's breath caught in her throat. It was happening, her dream was becoming a reality. All the hard work, all the sacrifices, had led to this moment. She could hardly believe it as she hung up the phone. The world felt surreal, and yet she knew that this was just the beginning. The journey to becoming a professional dancer was far from over, but Tandy was ready for the challenge. The first person Tandy called after hearing the news was her mother. The pride and joy in her mother's voice brought tears to Tandy's eyes. "We always knew you were destined for greatness, my child," her mother said. Tandy's father came on the line next, his normally stoic voice cracking with emotion as he told her how proud they both were. After sharing the news with her family, Tandy returned to the academy with a sense of purpose. Madame Labo was one of the first to congratulate her. "I knew you had it in you," she said with a small smile. "This is just the start, Tandy. Remember, it's not about the destination, but the journey." As her departure for Europe drew closer, Tandy reflected on her time in Johannesburg. The city had given her opportunities she never dreamed of, but it had also tested her in ways she hadn't expected. She had been tempted by wealth and comfort, but in the end, she had chosen her passion. Saying goodbye to her classmates was bittersweet. Some were genuinely happy for her, while others masked their jealousy behind polite smiles. Sizwe, however, surprised her. "I hope you find everything you're looking for," he said softly when they met for the last time. There was no bitterness in his voice, only a quiet acceptance that their paths were now different. Arriving in Europe felt like stepping into another world. The city was bustling with culture, art, and, most importantly, dance. Tandy was in awe of the professional dancers she saw at the company, people who had dedicated their entire lives to the craft. For the first time in her life, she wasn't the most talented person in the room. Her apprenticeship was intense, with long hours of rehearsals, new techniques to learn, and a higher level of discipline than she had ever experienced. It was daunting, but Tandy loved every minute of it. She knew she had a long way to go, but being surrounded by Despite her love for dance, Tandy found it hard to fit into her new environment. The cultural differences were overwhelming. Her fellow apprentices spoke different languages, came from different backgrounds, and sometimes, Tandy felt like she didn't belong. She missed the familiarity of Soweto, the warmth of Johannesburg, and even the steady presence of Sizwe. One evening, after a particularly exhausting rehearsal, she called her mother. "It's hard, Mama," she admitted. "I feel like I'm out of place here." Her mother's voice was calm, reassuring. "Great journeys are never easy, Tandy. But you are not in Europe by chance. You belong there, just like you belonged at the academy in Johannesburg. Remember, it's your passion that will carry you through." Tandy took her mother's words to heart and threw herself into her training with renewed vigor. She knew she had something to prove, not just to the dance company, but to herself. She worked harder than ever before, staying late to practice, asking questions when she didn't understand, and pushing her body beyond its limits. Her perseverance began to pay off. Her instructors noticed her dedication, and she slowly gained the respect of her peers. She may have started as the outsider, but her undeniable talent and work ethic earned her a place among the best. Still, there were moments when doubt crept in, moments when she wondered if she truly had what it took to succeed at this level. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the story and wish to see a part 3, comment part 3 in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever we post a new video.